So what we're working with here is Gap weldwood contact cement. We have here chip brushes from Harbor Freight. We got a big bulk of them, 36 of them for like $5. And then what I like to do here, and go ahead and start picking it up, a really good even light coat. And we're using 3/8 inch foam, and you can see where it's starting to bulk or pucker up the foam. We're going to do one light coat so that it sinks into the Y20 foam or EVA foam that we got from the Friendly Foam Shop. You can go to friendlyfoamshop.com and pick it up, and it's a local store here in Seattle or in Bellevue. What you want to do is do one light coat each, let it dry for a little bit, and then do a second coat, because the first coat is going to sink into the cells of the foam, and then the second one that you do will not sink in so much, and we'll get a much better even coat. And we've also coated the core here with contact cement. Here is going to be the most awkward part of this. Now that contact cement is dried and tacky, when these guys get together, they're just going to adhere. So you really have to register these in correctly. So we've got our lines marked up, and we've got our edges marked up. So I'm realizing normally I do this when it's wetter and not so tacky, and that means I'm not doing it correctly. So now I've done it correctly, and whoa, now is this thing sticky. So I register in really close to make sure I'm on the core. Now we go ahead and put these guys together. And squish, squish, squish. And in another video that you'll find on YouTube called Alteris Nemesis, and it's how to make things, and they do how to make a LARP weapon, and they actually use a big heavy rolling pin, which I think I need to buy one of those things. Okay, so what we've got going on here is we have a second blank that we made previous, except for it was designed when we didn't add this extra bulk on either side of this blade. And so now what we're going to do is take this opportunity to show you how to add the foam that's needed. So we're going to cut out 2 squares, we're going to glue them together, and then we're going to butt it up to the original. Again, multiple light passes so you're not beating up your foam or deforming it in any way. We'll go ahead and glue this up, and then we'll stick these together here. Be using the belt sander to put the edge in this area, and I think it'll actually sand itself out smooth, so we won't see it. So we'll keep note of this as we move forward, how well this actually hangs. So we're just going to go ahead and just add our template, mark this guy up, and I'm just going to go ahead and just put in another mark. I now have a perfect round template. This is a really special knife. What you can do is you can take out the blade itself, and you can flip it over if need be to get even a sharper side, and then you can easily put it back in. So you always have a really nice sharp knife, and these replacement blades are really inexpensive. So I highly recommend this knife, and then it folds up just like a normal pocket knife. You can get these at Harbor Freight for on sale for like $5. So what I'm going to do here, I love these razor knives. They come with replacement blades, so you just take this off here, and then the blade just comes right out, and you can replace them. These I get at Harbor Freight once again, pretty inexpensive. So if you come up here, each one has a groove. You can take your end piece, come up here, back it up by 1, and then these snap off so you get a fresh tip each time. But in this case, I want a full length, and I'm going to come in here. So if you don't have a bandsaw like I do at home, you can use this razor knife. And again, you want to try to stay as much as possible to straight up and down. And then it just cuts away like this. And then lightweight, it feels really good. So what I wanted to show you here, what I like to do to cut the blade area in. Our blade edge is going to come here, and I'm going to go about 1/2 inch on the inside of this. So now we have a blade area. So if you don't have a fine belt sander like this one here, Harbor Freight costs you 80 bucks normal, roughly, and get it on sale. You can get it as low as 40 bucks for half price, depending on the sales that you look at. So let's come back down here, and let me go ahead and just carve in. So with this guy here, I will actually just carve it with a knife. Go really slow. And I will use this middle area as my target as much as possible. As I cut into it, just do small sewing, vibrating motions. Some people think that they're very successful with a turkey knife that you can get at secondhand stores. And then you can see here we have our nice edge. Now this can be sanded out if you want. You can leave this spiraling edge and use that as part of the texture of the blades if you choose to. Lots of options at this point, but that's how I will cut in the knife blade for any of the weapons using this knife here. This is the brake or the armrest, and to actually do the blades, I went and cut out this channel as far in as possible so I could have the steepest angle. So when I go in with my the blade area, this is going to rest right up here, and I'm just going to butt up next to it, and I will sand away as I'm sanding through. So now here I keep a consistent angle on all my blade angles, and we'll talk about that further. What I do here is that you can see between here and here there's a huge gap. And what I do to make sure that that gap goes away is I take a piece of metal and I extend this up so that it actually touches the belt sander area right here. And to secure this in that place, I will just use your packing tape once again. Okay, so the question here being is, why not just leave the gap here? Why add this piece of plate that bumps up right next to the sander? And the key thing here is when I experiment with this just going here, what will happen is that the belt itself will grab a hold of the foam and it'll suck it down this hole. So by having this plate up here, and then when I'm actually sanding this along, it will not suck down the hole, since this is just nice and right up against and filling it and taking out any gap whatsoever, so that soft foam won't get sucked down the wrong direction. Okay, so what I want to point out here once again is the middle seam where these two guys go together. That's my target to be able to sand towards. I'm constantly sanding towards it. And the way the kukri is designed is that this comes to a tip blade, but I'm going to let this get really wide up here. But you can see here how the blade looks, and on the other side.